Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Death Metal Superman action figure. Death Metal is an offshoot from the Dark Knight's Metal storyline. This is the main Superman from the comics, but he's in the Death Metal crazy storyline in a really weird outfit. He's part of the Collect-a-Build or Build-a-Figure Darkfather wave. So let's go ahead and check out the packaging here. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, got the Spawn logo there, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse, Superman. He's part of the Collect-a-Build Darkfather wave. This is the second of 4 figures you'll need to complete that. He comes with 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands, a collector's card, a display stand, and then both of Darkfather's arms. So one side of the package says Superman, Dark Knight's Death Metal. Other side simply says Superman. At the bottom, there's a bunch of credits, and here's his barcode in case that helps anybody. Then on the back side here, there's a checklist for all the Darkfather parts, instructions how to make him. Here's Superman posed up, and then here is the rest of the wave. So I got my figure at Target, stumbled across the entire wave, very happy to check them off my list. So no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He does come with 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands, a display stand, and a collector's card. But before we take a look at the accessories, let's take a look and talk about the actual figure. So the first thing you may wonder, and I wondered the same thing, is why does Superman look like this? This is Superman from the Death Metal comics. Apparently he was being held captive on Apokolips, and was being corrupted by the anti-life equation. You can see a part of him looks very similar to Darkseid, has that sort of stone-looking skin to it. So let's take a look at the figure. I must admit, definitely not my favorite design for Superman. He's got the long hair, the red eyes, looks kind of evil, although this is not an evil Superman. Got some extra strands of hair, sort of loose, sticking out. Pretty nice job on the sculpt there. This is not the first time Superman has had long hair. I remember in the 90s, he had that mullet look for a little while. Superman logo looks pretty good. Blue a little bit darker than what I'm used to. One side, he's got that messed up arm that looks like Darkseid. Some sort of brass knuckle type things on the end there. Got his fisted hand here. He's got chains all over his waist. They're made of a soft material, very movable. His other arm is completely exposed, flesh colored. It's got wrap around the hand and the forearm, and even the bicep here. Nice little bit of stuff hanging off. It looks pretty good if you're into this look, which I must admit, I'm not. He's my least favorite of the trinity of heroes in the Death Metal looks. So going further down, looks like he does have double jointed elbows on this hand, but single jointed on this. Looks like double jointed knees. He's got a bunch of wrap around his legs, more material sticking out, even some spikes on his toes. Overall, looks pretty cool. I guess he can join my Death Metal band with Death Metal Batman. And then here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's look at his accessories, and let's start off with the boring stuff. So we've got this typical McFarlane stand, black perfect circle, says DC at the bottom. It's got 1 peg for the peg holes on his feet. Very thin, very basic. Now let's look at his collector's card. As you can see on the front, we've got the Death Metal Superman posed up, flying in the air. Superman, Dark Knight's Death Metal. And then on the back, there is a description. If anyone wants to read that, go ahead and pause now. Now let's look at his hands. He's got a total of 4 of them, 2 fists, and 2 semi-open, possibly gripping hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. And then, with his other pair of hands, these are some semi-open hands. They could possibly grip an item, but they look more like choking or grabbing hands. And one thing I did want to point out on the hands, the peg is considerably different on his right and left hands. You can see it's a standard looking peg on his normal hand, and it's a much thicker peg on his sort of dark side hand. And while not exactly an accessory for Superman, he comes with the Build-A-Figure part for Darkfather. These are his arms. Notice they have the skin very similar to Darkseid and similar to Superman's right arm. Looks like a single jointed elbow, and then we've got those spikes here. Overall, the detail and sculpt looks very nice on him, and I must say, Darkfather is a pretty amazing looking figure. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's sitting at about 7.25 inches tall, which is going to translate to about 18.5 centimeters. Now let's check out his articulation. Start with his head here. Of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up and down about that far. Can tilt his head from one side to the other. Give him a good amount of personality. Shoulders on a ball joint. Goes out a little bit more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. It does have a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area. Just increasing the range of motion. Bicep cut below that. He's got a single jointed elbow on this arm with a rotation. On the other arm, he does have a double jointed elbow. Kind of odd that he had one on the other. His wrist here, it can rotate and it's going to be hinged as well. He's got a ball joint in his torso, can rotate around, can also go forward and back. Ball joint in his waist, can also rotate around, go forward and back, giving him a very wide range of motion in his torso here. Legs go about this far, not a ball joint, but a similar type concept. Rotation, not too bad, nice improvement there, McFarlane. They go forward about that far, not too much. Back, not much at all. Double jointed knees, they go all the way back. Then his ankle here, it has a ball in it. You can't really access it with all the stuff around him. Forward and back. It can rotate, can tilt and rock at least a little bit, and there's toe articulation. Here's Superman imprisoned on Apocalypse, getting transformed by the anti-life equation. And of course, he does end up escaping and goes to help the other heroes. Darkfather comes to check on his prisoner, and is not pleased with what he finds. After Superman escapes, he goes and joins up with the rest of the Trinity, and they want to pay Darkfather back. And then Superman and the Trinity go to take on Darkfather, pay him back for everything he's done to them. And in the Death Metal comic, Superman gets so angry with Darkfather that he punches him all the way into a lower orbit. Talk about a hell of a punch. Now let's check him out, next to some other action figures, starting off with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the rest of this Build-A-Figure Darkfather Death Metal wave. And here, next to the regular Action Comics Superman. Here are all the different Superman figures McFarlane has made in their Multiverse collection, although I guess technically Bizarro is not Superman. From left to right, we've got Rebirth Bizarro, Red Sun Superman, Infected Superman, Superman in his Unchained Armor, Death Metal Superman, Action Comics 1000 Superman, Action Comics 1000 Superman with the angry face, and then Superman from Superman the Animated Series or Justice League Unlimited. And there are two more Superman figures coming real soon. We've got both the red and blue suit and the black suit Superman from Zack Snyder's Justice League. And here he is in front of my entire McFarlane DC Multiverse collection, including all the variants. I've got a total of 76 figures and 2 vehicles. And that's not counting Red Hood or Death Metal Batman twice, as they're pretty much the exact same release. And then more of an aerial view of the entire collection, in case anything was missed. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane figure, they're the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. I'm going to include as many Superman figures as I can in these comparisons. Here he is, next to some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And here, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles Superman figures. And here, next to some NECA figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse Superman figures. And here, with some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is an okay Superman figure. I will admit, when McFarlane first revealed the Darkfather Build-A-Figure Death Metal wave, I thought to myself, these figures are dumb, I have no interest in them. Being a predominantly Batman-related collector, Darkfather and Robin King are what caught my eye. They are Batman-related villains, and frankly the figures look very good. After getting Wonder Woman, I thought she was great, her armor looks good, and the figure itself is pretty cool. Releasing the Batman a second time is pretty disappointing, McFarlane forcing it to double dip yet again. And after handling this Superman and doing the review on him, I like him more than I did initially. He's definitely not a look for Superman that I'm fond of. I don't really like his hair or his face. I kind of like the dark side arm, it's a pretty cool little feature. The detail on this guy is pretty nice, and after exploring the source material, I understand the look a little more. This probably is my least favorite McFarlane Superman figure they've made so far, but it doesn't mean he's a bad figure. Overall, if I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10, just because of my own personal preferences. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.